When we send a confusing text message today, the worst outcome is usually an awkward apology or a wrong coffee order. But in traditional folklore, the stakes for human error are often pushed to their absolute, irreversible limits, with terrifying results. The Mizo Folktale of Kelchangi begins with a completely normal, functional family dynamic: a mother, a father, a daughter, and a baby brother, living out their standard daily routine. As this image of traditional bamboo houses shows, the family's life is rooted in an agricultural setting. The parents spend their days working the fields, leaving the older children behind to manage the household. The tragedy that follows begins entirely with a simple, everyday chore, entirely free of curses or evil spirits. Before leaving for the day, the mother gives Kelchangi one final instruction in Mizo: Kelchang, mai lo chang, which translates to Kelchang, boil the pumpkin. Kelchangi mishears her mother. Instead of the command to cook a vegetable, she thinks she hears the phrase now za, a question asking about her little brother. A closed communication loop requires multiple steps. Information flows from sender to receiver, but for success, there must be a return path, a verification step. When Kelchangi's mother ignores her confused question and walks away, she shatters that critical verification step. By walking away without double-checking the instruction, the mother creates a deadly vacuum. Her daughter is left behind, completely confident she has received a direct order, entirely unaware that she is operating on flawed, dangerous data. Operating under the firm belief that she is fulfilling her mother's explicit request, Kelchangi murders her baby brother and boils his remains. When the parents return home from the fields, they immediately ask for the boy. Kelchangi panics. She offers a string of frantic excuses, claiming he is out watching the neighbor's cattle or fetching water. Eventually, the parents demand the meal she was supposed to prepare. As they serve the food, they physically uncover the horrific truth. Their son's head and arms are resting inside the cooking pot. Confronted with the evidence, Kelchangi offers an impossible defense. She claims the remains actually belong to an animal her grandfather shot long ago. Her reasoning entirely collapses under the weight of the irreversible mistake she has made. When a catastrophic error is exposed in real time, the immediate human instinct is rarely to accept the truth. The mind protects itself by retreating into nonsensical, desperate denial. Rather than untangling the root cause of the miscommunication, the parents react with immediate hostility. They escalate the tragedy by seeking fast vengeance. Later, they instruct Kelchangi to climb onto the roof to dry tobacco. Once she finishes the task, they remove the ladder, trapping her up there and actively ignoring her desperate pleas to come down. Trapped and terrified, Kelchangi looks to the sky and cries out to Puvana, the Lord of the Heavens, begging him to drop his frualrui, his rope. Puvana answers her plea. He uncoils his rope down from the clouds, allowing Kelchangi to ascend into the sky and escape forever. The original communication error has now fully mutated. What started as an accident has transformed into active physical hostility, effectively destroying the family unit on Earth. Time passes, and Kelchangi makes a brief return to the roof of her old home. She is now adorned in heavenly wealth, wearing beautiful garments, thi and gun, the traditional necklaces and bracelets. Hearing the jewelry clinking, her parents step out and see her wealth. They immediately reverse their hostility, suddenly claiming they love her and eagerly offering to help her down. Kelchangi rejects their offer. She refuses to come down, choosing instead to return to the sky permanently. The parents' sudden display of greed and hollow affection is entirely powerless here. No amount of begging can undo the permanent damage set in motion by their initial failure to communicate. The parents are left to tally the final costs. Because they walked away from an unverified word about boiling a pumpkin, their son suffered a horrific death. Because their immediate reaction was retaliation rather than understanding, they lost their daughter to permanent, literal alienation. True communication is an active, intentional process of confirming that the message sent perfectly matches the message received. Failing to close that communication loop invites far worse than simple mistakes.
It creates a space where fatal assumptions take root, permanently severing the closest human bonds.